Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Hootie London. This is for educational purpose only. This is the case of the Idaho quadruples. May the 4 victims rest in peace. Condolence to the families, and may the correct justice be served. Today I'd like to talk about exculpatory evidence that was mentioned at the very beginning of this case. Although it was Brian Christopher Kohlberger, his defense team, and Taylor who wanted to take statements of Bethany Funk, who was one of the surviving roommates who was sleeping at the first floor. Allegedly, that's what they told us in the beginning of the police conference, that Bethany and Dylan Mortensen was sleeping at the ground floor. 7 weeks later, it was said, when Brian Christopher Kohlberger was arrested and when the affidavit came out, they said that DM was actually a witness, that she was at the second floor and she opened the door 3 times and she saw a man with bushy eyebrows, athletic build, 5'11", Kohlberger 6'11". He's 6'1" or 6'2". The car description wasn't even the same like Kohlberger's, besides it being a white Hyundai. The one they were searching for, the one the police were searching for, was 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra. Today I'd like to discuss a bit about the exculpatory evidence that Brian Christopher Kohlberger's team wants from Bethany Funk. What was actually Bethany Funk's timeline is the big question. She was supposed to be sleeping in the first floor. She was quite close to Maddie. She used to take Maddie as older, as a sister. Plus they used to go to the same sorority. And it really looked, from all the pictures you can see there's some kind of relationship between Maddie and Bethany Funk. But my question is, where was Bethany Funk that night? Were they all at home at 1:45 like it was said? Because his friend, his friend said that he got a text message from that E was at the Sigma Chi party at 2 to 2:15 a.m. He couldn't be in 2 places at the same time. But I want to know, what was the relationship between all the roommates who lived in this big white house? What was their relationship? Some were seniors, some were juniors, some were freshmen, I believe. DM is like a mystery. She's a proper mystery. There isn't much there to find out about DM, honestly. Where were these 2 young women that night? Was DM with a boyfriend or former boyfriend Quinn Kelly? Was she at home alone? Did she go out to a pub? Because the police never mentioned where the surviving roommates were. The police actually just said in the beginning that they wanted to know the timelines of the couple, Zan and E. But they said the surviving roommates were at home at 1 a.m. At 1:45 a.m., all of them were at home, which I doubt. Where was BF? Why does Brian Christopher Koberger believe that she has exculpatory evidence that can actually help him out in his case, exonerate him? Why? Which of these two surviving roommates did or could have Brian Christopher Koberger known? As a friend? Maybe messed around a bit with? Known in some other way? Maybe helped them with some homework? There's something that isn't right. I just don't believe that if Brian Christopher... I'm willing to accept that he's involved, but I just want to know what got him involved. What is his motive? I believe he could have done it for love of a woman. This is for educational purpose and entertainment purpose only. I'm just trying to think. Who did Brian Christopher Koberger actually know? Could he have known one of these two girls? Because it was said by the defense attorney, allegedly, that her client, Brian Christopher Koberger, did not know any of the 4 victims. What about the 2 surviving roommates? What if he was friends with Bethany Funk? Since he mentioned Bethany Funk BF has exculpatory evidence, what if he lent her his knife? And what if it was his knife? And what if she asked and she said, we feel unsafe in the house? Just say example. And what could have got these two to have known BF is if they're dealing with rugs in the house, if you'll understand. If you understand what I mean. If they were dealing with rugs in the front, what do you think could have happened? A lot could have happened. They could have... Let's not forget, Brian Koberger looks like a person, let's be honest. It's not good to judge people, but he does look like a person who's a loner. Not a loner, but who doesn't have many friends. And when you're in that stage, when you don't have many friends, at times you would do anything it takes to get friends. And even roam around with the bad company could be one of them. Let's not forget Brian was involved 5 years with an A-class rug. D-R-U-G. So what makes us believe that he just quit that and he didn't go to something milder? He was doing a PhD. He was stressing. He's been in addictions before. He's been in rehab. But we've seen people always relapsing and getting in and out of rehab. I showed you the Venmo payments of BF, although it was 2021. People were sending her codes like CO, the white thing you take up your nose. So whether they were joking or not, there were many things that were said there. Area where 4 University of Idaho students were murdered were known as party spot. Taxi driver says that's where people go to get rugs. So this was a party venue. It was a party place. No matter how you look at it, Brian Christopher Koberger could have easily come into these parties. He could have come here to have purchased other stuff if this was a place that you could purchase rugs. Let's not forget he was allegedly a person under serious A-class addictions for 5 years. Not 5 months, 5 years. It's barely ever people survive 5 years of hard drugs. So do your maths. There's something that's not right here. So he could have possibly one of the 4, unfortunately, one of the 4 victims that are no longer here, one of the 2 surviving roommates could have been involved or could have been storing drugs for someone in this house. But this is a local taxi driver who's telling us this. And we did hear of that night that there was going to be a shakedown. We heard about it after, obviously, a week, a couple of days later, before WSU came even to this picture. We heard alleged rumors of shakedowns and such things. So my question is, did Bethany Funk or DM know Kohberger? Pullman is not far away from Moscow. It's just 10 minutes away. Was she in some kind of situation or issue that she need help to get out of? Because let's not forget, rumors leaked from the grand jury that these people were texting each other. And if that was true, which obviously this is a creaky old house, it's impossible that everyone in the house fell asleep when Mr. Steve Congalvis, Kaylee's father, said that the coroner said that there was a hell of a fight going on in the second floor. So nobody was sleeping. Where were you, Bethany Funk, that night? You had the Sigma Chi fraternity party. You witnessed a lot, I believe. You witnessed the 4th Chan. You witnessed the Sigma Chi that I've been keeping my eyes on since day one. You know the Jacks. You know Showalter. You were sitting on Showalter's lap. Furthermore, you know DM and Showalter from Boise, Idaho school. So was this an inside job? My question tonight is, could BF or DM, one of them, know Brian Christopher Kohberger well, and could they have set him up to do this? Just a question. It could be easily done in 15-20 minutes if somebody from the inside is helping you. Definitely. Now this is Bethany Funk is Venmo from 2021, I believe. Yeah. End of 21. Pay attention to the code language that's used. It could be nothing or it could be something. This was at Amir Condon paid Bethany Funk 12:08 a.m. 28 May 2021. So this is in COVID times, in the epidemic times. Keep in mind, she sent her some money and she wrote COKE. Is she talking about the white stuff people put up the nose? Could BF be the one that who was? Or DM? Or both of them? Why was the spare room still vacant? This was a party place. We saw the police coming there twice one night. And now, just to make matters even more mysterious, Riley Hilden paid Bethany Funk on the 21st June 2021. That's 3 days after the previous one I showed you from Amanda, I'm not going to read it. I don't want my channel to be terminated. But read what's written down says. Now we have a second word of COKE. What these people dealing with Coke? Just say Coca-Cola. You'll understand me. The white Coca-Cola you put up your nose. Was that what was going on actually inside the house? Is that what they were dealing with? Could that have been what and pills, what it was about? Because this is Bethany Funk is Venmo. And I showed you that a couple of months ago. But now when I put it with the exculpatory evidence, and I've always thought it's an inside job. That's what I personally believe. You can't freeze in 8 hours and text messages. I don't believe that for a second. Then we have on the 10th of July 2021, BF paid Xana Canodal, may she rest in peace, BUTT implants. So I don't know if this is a joke, if this is code for the C words, is this code for pills? Something was definitely going on there in this house. I'm trying to find out what motive what motive Bryan Kohberger could have in all this. Could he have known Bethany Funk or DM? Usually, when people on A-class addictions, and if they, with all help, stop it, and if they go back to it or to stop it, they go to something a bit milder. I wonder if this was what they were dealing with. And since this was a party house and there were rugs there, like the taxi driver said, could this be the reason that Bryan Christopher Kohberger's phone pinged around 11:22 Kings Road 13th time on the whole? Was he coming in here to collect the same stuff allegedly people were allegedly collecting from Bethany Funk? Because they wrote the words that was her Venmo. And it was Bryan and his defense team who said that Bethany Funk has exculpatory evidence. Think about that. Doesn't that make a bit sense that if Bryan Christopher Kohberger knows one of the surviving roommates, and just say even if the 4 figures are the Sigma Chi fraternity boys, the Davids, many people could have allegedly been involved because it's 4 people. But I believe it was an inside job. I've always believed it was an inside job. It was organizations, many people involved, but there was someone inside the house who left the doors open for them, who closed the doors, who told them when they came home. Maybe they even knew that the house was bugged, the whole house, but not their rooms maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if the roommates are working for someone, if it's an inside job. Allegedly, I'm being honest. Just saying allegedly. Because the more you think of it, it's not normal that somebody waits 8 hours to call the police, to call 911, and before calling 911, 8 hours after wasting time for 8 hours because they were texting each other. Allegedly, according to the leaked messages from the grand jury. So after 8 hours, they decided to call Hunter Johnson first. That doesn't make sense at all. Was Bryan coming here to buy something, purchase something, allegedly? Could there be a possibility after reading the Venmo payments? We've even seen Emma Bailey at 1122 Kings Road. We've seen pictures of her, I believe. Was it with DM? These people all know each other. The question is, could Emma Bailey have been involved in this too? Was this to do more with rugs? Because this is more than crime of passion. There's, of course, a lot of hate, revenge, a lot of envy, a lot of rage, I believe. That's why I believe the two Davids and the steroids are involved, allegedly.
Tonight, a bumpy start to a lengthy court battle from the defense team of alleged Idaho murder suspect BRYAN Kohberger. His team attempting to force the surviving housemate of the Forest Lane University of Idaho students to testify in his defense at a preliminary hearing in June. That roommate, Bethany Funk, is fighting against it, filing her own motion to quash the subpoena in Washoe County, Nevada.
There's a good chance this judge will quash the subpoena because the net effect to the witness may be to terrify her, even if that's not the intent.
It's unclear when the Washoe County judge will make a decision. According to an affidavit, Funk was in a first-floor bedroom of the apartment house during the early morning of the murders on November 13th. A criminal investigator for Kohberger's defense writes that Funk has information that is, quote, exculpatory to the defendant, and adds it's, quote, unique to her experiences and cannot be provided by another witness. NBC News reached out to Kohberger's attorney, but has not received a response. He has yet to enter a plea for his June 26th hearing. Funk was ruled out as a suspect early on, police say, and her lawyers say the defense's claims are without support. They also argue the court does not have the authority to summon a Nevada witness to Idaho for a preliminary hearing. She would potentially have to stay for the duration of Kohberger's trial.
One reason the defense may want to call this witness is they have some reason to believe that she'll testify inconsistently with what she's told police in the past. If that were to happen while she's under oath, that would be a really big benefit to the defense because now they'll have something to cross-examine her with at trial.
Funk and the other surviving roommate, Dylan Mortensen, have not spoken publicly about the case, but honored their fallen friends in letters read by a pastor at a church vigil.
They all lit up any room they walked into and were gifts to this world. I wish every day that I could give them all one last hug and say how much I love them.
Investigators have not said whether Kohberger knew the victims or why he would have targeted them, and a motive is yet to be revealed. But trace DNA that was on a knife sheath left at the crime scene to him. The murder weapon police say believed to be a knife has yet to be found.
From L.A., Nyla, do we know any more details on why the defense has called Bethany Funk to testify and not the other roommate?
Tom, because the judge issued a gag order in January barring anyone involved with the case from making statements, we don't know what Funk saw or didn't see, but clearly the defense finds it beneficial to their case. Here's what we know about the other roommate, Dylan Mortensen. A police report says the morning of the murders, she woke up to voices and saw a suspect walking past her with a mask on. The defense, as of now, not calling on her, but we'll see how this plays out in court. Tom?
Says Ann Taylor just using a tactic that Bethany Funk could know something more than DM, or the way her witness statement could have been totally different to what DM saw, the way DM understood what she saw. Just wondering if she does have exculpatory evidence. I really wonder if DM or BF, especially BF, could have been dealing with drugs or something at the house, inside the house, because I showed you the Venmos. One of them could have got scared when the money was short and they could have told Kohberger and he could have lent them the knife. Maybe the K-bar knife sheet does belong to Kohberger. Maybe it was the four figures and other people who did it. But maybe Kohberger lent the knife to Bethany Funk. Could that be possible? Do they know each other? Or is it DM that he knows? Because I really believe the FBI when they said that BRYAN Kohberger's phone has pinged there 13 times before, 13 times on the whole, or 12 times. So where they surround those areas, and this is a house that the taxi drivers themselves are confirming to the local news that they should drive people to purchase things. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. May the correct justice be served. May the four victims rest in